Hello, dear friends, dear students, good morning. Day before yesterday, when your term was there for thermal class, due to some personal problem, I could not conduct your class day before yesterday. So, again, today we resume our thermal class. So in last class we had seen some applications of steady flow energy equation on some thermal devices, like in boiler we had applied steady flow energy equation. In evaporator we had applied steady flow energy equation, and then we had seen the application of this equation in nozzle. Today again we will see few applications of steady flow energy equation, and then we will see that how to approach to solve the problem using steady flow energy equation. Let us start with turbine. As you are seeing that this is the line diagram of turbine. This is turbine, gas turbine. Here is the input of the gas, inlet of the system, and it is the outlet of the system. Gas is entering in the turbine, rotating the shaft, work is getting out from the system, and after doing work this gas is coming out from this outlet, and this is the system boundary. Mostly this turbine system is insulated, so heat transfer in to the system and out from the system is zero. So the flow through turbine is mostly adiabatic. So here we have considered that flow through this turbine is adiabatic. So here we are able to see that turbine is a device which converts energy of working substance, that is gas or steam, into the work. This rotation of shaft, it is insulated, so there is no heat transfer. So as I have already told that the turbine system is insulated, so there is no transfer of heat into the turbine and out from the turbine. So here in this system we have Q12 is equal to 0. So when we apply the steady flow energy equation, so this equation, steady flow energy equation, heat supplied minus work done by the system is equal to change in enthalpy of the system and plus change in kinetic energy of the fluid plus change in the potential energy of the fluid. But as we are knowing that heat transfer here in turbine system is 0 because it is insulated, and change in kinetic energy is also 0, and change in potential energy is also negligible. It can be taken as 0. So when we put all the things here, the Q1 to 0 and change in kinetic energy 0, change in potential 0, the equation turns in this format: minus W12 is equal to delta H. W12 is equal to minus delta H. Delta H minus delta H means H1 minus H2. So the above equation indicates that the work is done by the system, work is done by the fluid at the expense of its enthalpy. So this is the positive quantity, this is the work, as we are knowing that the turbine gives work. So work is done by the system, so definitely it is positive. So enthalpy H1 minus H2 is positive. Enthalpy at inlet of the turbine, enthalpy at outlet of the turbine. This quantity is positive, means the enthalpy is reduced from H1 to H2. That is why this is the positive. So we can say that the work is done by the fluid at the expense of its enthalpy. The enthalpy reduced, and expense of that the work is done on this shaft. So this is the final equation for turbine, steady flow energy equation for the turbine. Okay, let us see some more applications. Let us look at on rotatory compressor. So this is the rotatory compressor. As we know that in compressor device, the work is given to the system. His shaft is rotating. So this work is done by the motor or some external source. So this arrow indicates that work is done onto the system, and this is the inlet of the compressor, rotatory compressor, and means working fluid is air here, and after getting into the system, rotatory compressor, the work is done, the energy of air will be pushed. So after that, air will come out from here, and this is the system boundary. So again, this is an insulated device. So heat transfer will not take in or out from the system. So as we know that the use of compressor, it is a device which converts heat energy of working substance. That working substance is mostly air. So air have written gas or steam. So into the work. And as I have told that it is insulated, means there is no transfer of heat into the system and from the system. So here heat transfer Q12 will be equal to 0. So we can say that the flow through rotary compressor is adiabatic. Again here the change in kinetic energy and potential energy at inlet and outlet will be 0. Change in Ke is equal to 0, change in Pe is equal to 0. So because it is steady flow system, so when we apply steady flow energy equation, that is Q12 minus W12 is equal to delta H plus delta Ke plus delta Pe. So here delta Ke is equal to 0, delta P is equal to 0, and heat transfer is equal to 0. So when we put all these things here in the equation, finally we are getting minus W12 is equal to delta H. Here W12 is positive as the work is done on the system. We are rotating this shaft of the compressor. So W12 is positive. Hence minus W12 will be, W12 is negative. So minus W12 will be positive. So in this equation, minus W12 is positive. So delta H is positive. Delta H means change in enthalpy is positive. Change in enthalpy positive, it indicates that the external work increases the enthalpy of the system. So this increase of enthalpy will come in the form of increased pressure of the air. So as we know that the work of compressor is to give compressed air at the outlet. So this increase in enthalpy of the system we get in terms of increased pressure. So this is the one of the important application of this steady flow energy equation. Now let us see few numericals on this steady flow energy equation. So because unless we don't solve some numericals on any engineering concept, we will not throw from that concept. Few confusions will definitely remove after solving the problem. Means we will get a strong grasp on the concept, any concept, when we will solve some problems on that engineering concept. So let us see 1 2 numericals on steady flow energy equation application. So here numerical number 1, a gas expands through an ideally insulated nozzle following a reversible polytropic law. PV raised to the power 1.2 is equal to constant. Full stop. There is no change in potential energy, but the pressure drops from 20 bar to 2 bar and specific volume increases from 0.05 meter cube per kg to 0.3 meter cube per kg. Full stop. If the velocity is 80 meter per second at entrance, full stop, determine the exit velocity. So after reading this problem properly, very first we will note down the data in some systematic manner. If there is possibility to draw the figure, then I have instructed you number of times that wherever possible you draw the figure and label all the data on the figure. But when there is no requirement of figure to draw the figure, still then don't write randomly data, don't write randomly. Follow some manners to note down the data. So here I am writing, I have this doing partition, and at one side I have written the data at inlet of the system, and at one side I have written data at whatever parameters at outlet of the system. And finally I have shown in bracket that what we have to find. We have to find V2. What is the V2? Exit velocity. So this is the polytropic index, n is equal to 1.2 and P1 is equal to 20 bar, n is equal to 1 by 2 here. This is the polytropic index, and P1 pressure at inlet is equal to 20 bar, and we convert it into Pascal, Newton per meter square, that is 2 into 10 to the power 6 Newton per meter square. And the specific volume of the fluid at the inlet is 0.05 meter cube per kg, and velocity at the inlet is 80 meter per second. Again, at the outlet pressure P2 is 2 bar, that is 0.2 into 10 to the power 6 Newton per meter square, and the specific volume of the fluid at the outlet is 0.3 meter cube per kg. Let V2 is equal to exit velocity, and that we have to find out. This is the step number 1, noting down all the data in a very systematic way. Step number 2, using steady flow energy equation we have. First we will write the steady flow energy equation, then we will be able to see what is 0, what is given, what is not given. So here Q12 minus W12, this is the format I will suggest to use steady flow energy equation. Q12 minus W12 is equal to H2 minus H1, change in enthalpy, plus V2 square by 2 minus V1 square by 2, change in kinetic energy, and PE2 minus PE1, change in potential energy. So say this is equation as equation 1. As we had seen that in the nozzle system is insulated, so heat supplied to the system or from the system will be zero, as it is insulated. And because there is no any types of work is done in the nozzle system, so W12 will also be 0, and change in potential energy will also be 0, because there is no role of change in potential energy here. And change in enthalpy, H2 minus H1. Change in enthalpy, we know that change in internal energy plus change in this flow work. The sum of these two quantities is the sum of these two type of changes is the change in enthalpy. So for insulated nozzle, change in internal energy will be 0. So finally we have change in enthalpy is equal to change in this flow work at outlet and inlet, P2 Vs2 minus P1 Vs1. So again we come on this equation 1. Here Q12 will be 0, W12 will be 0, and in place of this change in enthalpy we can write change in flow work, P2 Vs2 minus P1 Vs1, plus this we are writing as V2 we have to find out, and velocity at inlet is given 80 meter per second, so we are writing 80 square by 2, and Pe2 minus Pe1, change in potential energy is 0, as we have already discussed. So P2 is given 0.2 into 10 to the power 6 into Vs2 is given 0.3 meter cube per kg, yes, minus P1 is given 2 into 10 to the power 6 Newton per meter square into Vs1 is 0.05 meter cube per kg, plus Vt square that we have to find out by 2 minus 80 square by 2. When we solve this by separating V2 one side and solving this equation, we get V2 is equal to 294 meter per second. So in this way we can find out the velocity at the exit of the working fluid by using steady flow energy equation. What is important here? We must know that for the nozzle Q1 to 0, W1 to 0. Otherwise, unless we will not know that these things will be 0 here, we will not able to solve this problem. So in this way we can solve the problem. Let us see one more problem. So next numerical is, in a gas turbine, the gases flow at the rate of 5 kg per second. This is the flow rate. That what is the flow rate of the gas? 5 kg per second, full stop. The gases enter the turbine at a pressure 7 bar with a velocity 120 meter per second and leaves at a pressure 2 bar with the velocity 250 meter per second, full stop. The turbine is insulated, full stop. If enthalpy of the gas at inlet is 900 kilojoule per kg and at outlet is 600 kilojoule per kg, full stop, determine the power of the turbine. So very first our duty is to read these numericals very carefully. Understand, try to understand what is being told here, what they have given and what we have to find out. And after that, let us note down the given data in a systematic manner. So I have given a partition here. Here I will write the data at the inlet. Here I will write the data at the outlet. And the common data I will write here. So step number 1, given data, M is equal to mass flow rate 5 kg per second. It is given here. And here is the inlet data. Pressure at inlet is equal to 7 bar is equal to, that we will convert into SI unit, Newton per meter square, 0.7 into 10 to the power 6 Newton per meter square. Velocity at inlet is 120 meter per second and enthalpy at the inlet is 900 kilojoule per kg. Let us convert it in joule per kg. Means 900 into 10 to the power 3 joule per kg. And the parameters at outlets are here. I am writing here. P2 is equal to 2 bar is equal to 0.2 into 10 to the power 6 Newton per meter square. V2 velocity at outlet is equal to 250 meter per second. And enthalpy at the outlet H2 is equal to 600 kilojoule per kg. I would like to write this in joule per kg. Means 600 into 10 to the power 3 joule per kg. And finally I am writing here what we have to find out. We have to find out power. So for finding out power, first we need work. And then we will find out rate of doing work. Let us see how to solve this. Unless we will not solve this type of problem, then we will confuse that how to find out the power, because there is no any power terms in the steady flow energy equation. So we will have to do some extra things here. Let us see. First, step number 2, I am writing here steady flow energy equation in this format. Q12 minus W12 is equal to H2 minus H1 plus V2 square by 2 minus V1 square by 2 plus PE2 minus PE1. Step number 3, as turbine is insulated, so heat supply to and from system will be 0. So Q12 is equal to 0 and there is no role of change in potential energy here. So PE2 minus PE1 is equal to 0 here. So finally we have the equation term for the turbine will Q12 0 minus W12, that will be work done by the system, is equal to, here we are writing H2 minus H1. Directly I have subtracted this by taking out common 10 to the power 3, because 10 to the power 3 here, 10 to the power 3 here. So 600 minus 900 common term I am taking out into 10 to the power 3 plus, this is a change in kinetic energy. V2 is given 250, so 250 square by 2 minus V1 is given 120, so 120 square by 2 plus 0. This is change in potential energy 0. So by solving this equation, we will get work done by the turbine is equal to 275.95 into 10 to the power 3 joule per kg. But we have to find out the power. Power means rate of doing work. So power is equal to work per second. But here we are knowing this is the work per kg. Power is equal to, here we have W12, that is the work per kg, work by mass. This is the work per kg of fluid. But we have already given, we have been given that what is the mass flow rate, that is the mass per unit time. m mass flow rate is given 5 kg per second. So when we will multiply W12 with m, so work per unit mass, and this is the mass per unit time. So this mass will be cancelled. So we will get work per unit time. So finally we will get work per unit time. That is the rate of doing work. We need power. What is the power? Rate of doing work. Work per unit time. Work per unit per second. So here we will get, when we will multiply W12 with rate of flow of mass. So by multiplying these two quantities, W12 we have find out from the energy flow, steady flow energy equation, and this m is already given in the numerical data. So W12 into m is equal to joule per second. We will get in joule per second, that is the watt. So by multiplying we are getting 275.95 into 10 to the power 3 W12 we have find out here from steady flow energy equation, into m is given 5 kg per second. So that is finally this unit will be watt, and because it is very big quantity, so we are converting it in kilowatt. So finally in kilowatt we are getting divided by 10 to the power 3, that is 1379.75 kilowatt. So this is the power of the turbine, rate of doing work by the turbine at the outlet of the turbine shaft. So in this way we can solve the problem. How easy we can solve the problem, that depends on that how systematic we have a approach to solve the problem. If we will do randomly anything, we will write randomly all the data, making like khichdi, so then we will get in trouble. Try to do everything in very systematic manner, then problem itself will tell you that move on this path to solve the problem. So your assignment will be, you have to write these two applications what I have explained today, how to apply steady flow energy equation in turbine and in rotary compressor, and what will be steady flow energy equation for turbine and rotary equation. These two derivation, these two application we have to write on your notes, and these two numericals plus two more numericals we have to solve. This thing is your assignment for today. Up to today evening you submit this to me, making a PDF file. In one PDF file this all things should be included, and the name of file should be as I have already explained you and told you. And even you are sending, some of students are writing properly name of the file, but some students are even again writing by applying their own mind. Don't do like that. Whatever is decided and what we have lined out, that this should be the way of writing file name, you must follow that. Don't apply your mind. So there should be consistency in naming of file. So you write the file name as I have told you and submit this and after in file name date is also mentioned. So when I will see all these things, then I will make attendance. This will the criteria for your attendance. Okay, have a good day. Thank you.